welcome to another episode of Wedflics. I'm Julia Braime. I'm your host and the editor and founder of Brides Up North, the top UK wedding blog for Northern couples, and I'm the editor of go-to bridal glossy Unveiled magazine. Today on the show, I'm talking with one of our Unveiled Network members, the amazing Cathryn Kerwin-Rawlinson, and she is a bridal makeup artist who is just, she's incredible at what she does. Her makeup is divine and she is such a calming influence. I think she would be the perfect person to have around on your wedding day morning. I mean, she chilled me right out during our chat. I felt like I'd been to a spa afterwards. So she can do that for me midway through a heavy production schedule. Then imagine how that bridal prep's going to feel. Let's meet her. Hi, Cathryn.
Hello, hi.
Welcome to Wedflics. How are you today?
I'm all right. I'm not bad. I'm good.
Excellent. So everybody, this is the lovely Cathryn Kerwin-Rawlinson. She is a bridal makeup artist and she's one of our Unveiled Network members. And she joins us today to talk about all things wedding day beauty. Yeah. And she is a total expert in this. So I tell you what, Cathryn, let's why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and your business?
Okay, I've been a bridal makeup artist now for approximately 10 years, probably coming up to 11 years this year. And I've been quite heavily involved more in the airbrush makeup side of bridal makeup, which I've been doing for probably about 8-9 years now. My business is, I would say, very classic. It's very timeless. It's very elegant. That's my look. That's my ethos. That's where I sort of go in terms of like how I do my makeup. I've won awards and I'm also in the top 50 in the UK, and I've been in that for the last 7 years.
Wow.
With Cohen. I was in the top 20 with Wedding magazine, Brides magazine.
Yeah.
I'm top 40 for wedding ideas. So you know, I work very hard on the business, and it's a real passion and it's a real love of mine. So you know, when you do get those sort of accolades, it's always very nice. So,
yeah, it's fantastic. You are really passionate. That's what I've noticed about working with you and getting to know you a little bit better through our work in Unveiled Network, is you're very passionate about everything you do. You put 100% into it, heart and soul. And I think that's, you know, if a bride's choosing their team to be around them on their wedding day morning, you want someone that turns up with that level of commitment and kindness and drive to make things perfect. So I would certainly want you on my wedding team, particularly if you're wielding the airbrush makeup machine.
Yeah.
But we'll come back to that in a minute. So
that's fine.
How did you get into makeup?
How to get into it? For many years, I always worked in sort of corporate. I worked in financial services for like 14 years. I think it was about that. And it was always something I fell into after school. I didn't want to go to university. I did want to be an artist, but my mum was like, no, that you won't make a career from that. So I sort of fell into banking, financial services, worked my way up in that. As like sales manager, that kind of thing. And then the credit crunch happened in 2008 and I lost my job, ended up in recruitment. And when my colleague was going over to the college to enroll on an accountancy course, I started flipping through the prospectus, saw that there was a 20-week makeup course, thought I'll give it a go, booked myself on it, went on it, got a distinction, parked it for a couple of years. And it was only when my friend a couple of years later said to me, it was about a year later, she said to me, will you do my wedding makeup? So I was like, okay, I'll do it. Did it, got the photos back, did a styled shoot, got those photos back, and just tentatively started putting it out on all the Facebook forums that I do wedding makeup. And it's literally grown from there. Carried on working a little bit, got little sort of part-time jobs. And then in 2014, I decided to do it full time, and that's pretty much what I do now. So
what an amazing story. As well. I love a bit of learning, and I'm always one for flipping through a prospectus and wondering what I might like to do. I know that feeling of like, because it is, you know, it's going back to kind of that being young again, I guess.
Yeah.
Looking at it and thinking, oh, like the world's my oyster. And I love that you actually did the course and dived into it, and you must have learnt a lot of tricks to have you must have been looking good in your own makeup application afterwards for your friend to say, hey, how about
I was always good at my own makeup anyway. If ever I went out on a night out, I was usually the mate that had, will you do my eyeshadow for me? Will you do this? So I was always good at it, and I'm very arty. That's like my other passion in life is drawing and art. So it was kind of like, for me, you know, my love of fashion, my love of art, my love of makeup, it all made sense, and it all was the right thing to do for me. So
you talked about your love of art. So how does your love of art then influence your work as a makeup artist? Do you get inspiration from?
Yeah, very much so. Like, one of my favorite things to do is, I mean, I can't do it at the minute, is go to Port Sunlight, which is on the Wirral, which is not that far from me. And I go and I look at the pre-Raphaelite calling them photos, are not photos, but there are the canvases, and I go and I have a look at them, like Rossetti, Millet, and that kind of thing. And if you ever look at some of my styled shoots, and there are styled shoots that I've done where people have gone, my goodness, that looks like a Rossetti painting. So my art does fall into probably my styling very much so, that the way I like to do things. And I'd say it's a huge influence. It's massive influence.
We should when we can, because we're during lockdown number 3.
Yeah,
3 people.
Yeah.
We'll have to go for like an afternoon coffee to a gallery together, because I am so into my art.
Yeah.
And I find that it's so inspiring for everything I do through the magazine. And I think we would just have a real geek out together, kind of exchanging favorites and ideas and things like that. I actually did an A-level in art while I was at uni, like practice, which is what, so it's kind of what I was referring back to. And just for the fun of it, that kind of is just, you know, it stands you in good stead, kind of having these interests that you can then bring into your career,
in work. I
totally resonate with that. Who's your favorite artist then?
I would say Rossetti and Millet. Like the Victorian pre-Raphaelite is definitely my favorite that I like to. And Port Sunlight has got so many, you know, Burne-Jones, all of that, it's all there. And it's you know, it's in this little village that's in on the Wirral. It's just like this crazy, and it's got this amazing art gallery. So it is something that I do enjoy and like to go and see.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I think you can, now you've said all this, I think you can see that in the imagery, like you're saying, like the styling you produce, and also the makeup you apply, strangely, because it is very, like you say, kind of classic, but like glowing from within.
And that's where art takes you. And I think, you know, if you've done an A-level in art, I unfortunately was never allowed to. My mum wouldn't.
Well,
it was a no-no.
Me neither. I did it later. So
I'd love to.
Like you did, I picked up a prospectus and did it later. With all the kind of 18-year-olds.
I will one day. I think I've been toying with going to do a degree. You know, I'm 43 now. I think, you know, I've said in this sort of decade, I'm going to go and do a degree in something, but I don't know what. We'll see.
You'd also get into all like the like the pub crawls and things with the students, just totally would.
I'll be down for that.
Be that person.
I'll be that person. But going back, I mean, your art, having an understanding in art, it really does help you to understand the concept of light, shades, blending, color theory, that kind of thing. So I think just having that real understanding in art, it helps when you want to become a makeup artist.
Composition too, as well. Like balance, absolutely. So your signature style, we've touched on it. You describe it as a classic look?
No, because yes, I would. But then I look sometimes through my Instagram, and I would say it's very my style. But I'm not afraid to go places sometimes with looks on my bride. So, you know, I will push them down a brighter lip if I think it's right for them. I always think my skin work looks quite ethereal a little bit,
dreamy.
like
I was going to say dreamy.
dreamy. Yeah, I'd say that's just me, and I think that's probably the airbrush that gives me that that finish. But yeah, I suppose I say classic, but I think I can turn brides to being a little bit more quirky and a little bit more, why don't you try something?
Maybe modern, maybe like a modern classic would be
I'd say definitely modern classic.
For sure, because sometimes the word classic, I think, is looked upon like, oh, classic, I don't want to be, you know, classic. And it's not strange. It's gone, it's totally sort of flipped.
Oh, my old-fashioned, and it's not.
Yeah, exactly. It's not at all old-fashioned style. We know what old-fashioned is. It's kind of stuck in the 90s. But which I kind of love as well, you know. If you
I love 90s.
Yeah, I know. As a child of the 90s, well, a child of the 80s, but you know, a teenager of the 90s, I'm like,
same here.
I like that look. I can't deny. I like a bit of a shimmer, the blue shimmer as well.
Yeah, me too. I'm not afraid of it.
But yeah, I think your look is timeless but fresh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's talk about the airbrush then, because I was going to say, I bet you're all about the blend.
Yeah, very much so.
So if someone's never heard of like airbrush makeup, what is it?
What is it? So it's utilizing a machine with a compressor, and what it uses is like a gun, and you put the product into the back of the gun, and it sort of sprays the product onto the face. So what it does is it negates any sort of touching of the face, so infection control, great for that. But what it creates is almost this dreamy sort of skin, because it's not being brushed on, so you don't have any brush lines, you don't have anything like that, and it becomes almost like your skin but better. And when you put it onto photograph, I think it just translates onto photograph really well. With that, it's waterproof and heat proof, so for a wedding, it might be a hot day, they might cry, it's not going to come off as much as a conventional foundation would, because it's got the powder and it's got the concealer and it's got the actual foundation in one. It sets
impacted together,
so you don't need all the layers,
and it doesn't look for anyone sort of thinking, oh, that's great, but I don't want to look like I'm wearing heavy makeup. It doesn't look like that, does it?
No, never. After about 20 minutes, when the skin starts to warm up and your own natural oils start to mix with it, it just becomes like amazing skin. It is a wonderful product to work with, and it's great to work with. And when I talk about spraying it on the face, it just goes where you want it to go. So it's almost like I'm brushing it on. So it's not, you know, I won't transfer it onto your clothes or anything like that. It's not big spray.
It's not a big spray.
It's just a directional spray. You want it to get, it's not like a spray tan or nothing. In fact, I've got a gun here that I can show you.
I'd be up for being hosed down head to toe with the airbrush makeup, to be honest. So my experience of airbrush makeup was as a bride 10 years ago. So I'm sure that like some techniques may have moved on a little bit in the quality of the actual makeup.
Yeah.
But having worn it as a bride, give it to me any day. Honestly.
Yeah.
So good. I felt $1 million in the morning, but the defining moment was at about 9 o'clock at night. I went into the ladies just to, you know, like do my lipstick and things.
Yeah.
And had a few glasses of wine. And my friend was there with me, and she says that I literally walked into the room, looked in the mirror, and went, "Wow, I look amazing."
That's airbrush.
Like, yeah, you do. You're the bride. And I was like, no. It's my makeup. I was like, why is it? And I think I have oily skin, so I'm used to my makeup kind of sliding off throughout the day, and it really stayed. And I thought, wow, this is something else. And it really is. It stands out to me as a wedding day memory because it was quite funny. But B, it was, I was like, oh yeah, I feel really good about myself, and that makeup helped me.
It's a good makeup. I mean, there's two brands that I work with. I work with Temp2, which is more for my oily skin clients, because that one's a water based. And then I work with Airbase, which is a silicone based one. But both last, both are good. They're just, I've got two different formulas for different skin types.
Well, it sounds wonderful to me. And I suppose as well, this is kind of the importance of a trial. You can, I mean, you talked about testing out different looks with your brides if you feel that it'll be good for their look. And this airbrush makeup too. I mean, do you offer trials to all your clients? How do you work it?
Yeah, so in here, this is my workspace in my house, and this is where I do all of my trials out of. So they all come, they all have a trial, they're all offered a trial. Usually I'd say no later than 8 weeks before the wedding, but not too early, because then you might change your mind in terms of style. But yeah, always do a trial, always like talk them through, consult with them, look at the first thing that I would do is probably ask them to see their Pinterest boards, have a look at their style, where they're wanting to go with it. And then I would advise, some people might want a cat eye look, but I know that a cat eye is not going to suit them. So I would consult with them and tell them what I think would suit. And if that was, then would come to some sort of compromise. But yeah, a trial. I enjoy trials. I'm missing doing them, to be honest.
I bet you are.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to be very busy right at the other end.
I know, that's the thing, isn't it?
I know, fitting in all those trials, because it's a trial isn't just kind of like a 15-minute chat and whack a bit of lippy on. It's, how long do they take?
About 2 hours.
Yeah. And your wedding day makeup isn't going to take 2 hours, but
no, but it's the talking. Not only that, it's like a place where you can get to know them and get to know their personal style. And I'm always quite keen to know what their personal style is, how they like to look. I think that's important. I suppose a bride who wanted that heavy sort of Instagram look wouldn't book me.
Although you can do it, but
I would.
Yeah, it's not your kind of signature.
Just from looking at my work, that it's not. The brides that book me want my style and they love it. The ones that see it, they love it. So I sort of do avoid that very heavy Instagram look that I can do.
Well, it's a passing trend as well, isn't it? I think we're already seeing, we've already moved on from the Kardashian phase, I would say, and we're kind of circling through.
Yeah, it's more about good skin now and glowing skin. That's the focus, I think, for bridal makeup, and certainly where it's going, a little bit more effortless.
Yeah, I'm glad I never bothered learning how to contour properly.
Yeah.
I just but I never really got to like the pasting on the different browns.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I've taken some tips from that stage in makeup history. What's in your kit then, Catherine? So
what brands?
Yeah, and what are your top products as well?
The one thing I would never do without, I can see it's right in front of me, is Hollywood Flawless Filter. I'll just get it. Hold on.
Yeah, great.
It's right here. Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury. I think I couldn't be without that in my kit. I've got a lot of Charlotte Tilbury in my kit. I've got quite a bit of this brand for the eyes called Viseart, which is a pro brand, and it's really good, real good pigmentation. I bought quite a bit while we've been in lockdown, if I'm honest. Daniel Sandler's probably one of my favourite for blushes. Okay. I started using Danessa Myricks. They've got this thing called Colour Fix, and it doesn't budge and it goes on the eyes. So that's quite a good one.
I need that, like a primer for the eyes.
No, it's not like a primer. Hold on, I've got it here.
Right.
It's like
personal consultation all of a sudden.
It's that it's like a tube, and you paint it onto the eye, but you can blend it out. But for weddings, because I've got quite watery eyes, and I find that it just doesn't budge. And for me, if I was having a watery eye episode, the makeup doesn't go with it. So that's something I've bought.
With
probably
your,
a lot.
With your Tilbury, with your Hollywood Flawless Finish, is that a primer?
Yeah, it's a 4-in-1 product. You can use it as a primer, a highlighter. You can mix it into your foundation, or you can wear it on its own.
Oh, lovely! I need to.
That's my favourite. If I couldn't be without it,
Yeah, and so I'm guessing you have like the full. Well, I know you have like the full range of specialist tools as well. What's kind of your favourite brushes to use and sponges, or is it just?
I use my Kitco. which is a professional brand of brushes. Peaches and Cream in Liverpool. They do sort of eye pigments, and they do brushes, and their brushes are amazing. Real Techniques, that kind of thing. Zoeva. Yeah, I'm not precious. If I see a brush and I like it, I'll order it.
I guess you're always kind of shopping for your kit as
Yeah.
well, from what I
Yeah.
from what I hear.
Like January is a great time because you've got all the sales on like Beauty Bay and things like that. So January is a time where I'll try new things. Like I'm waiting for a Natasha Denona palette to come, which was like 60 quid. It's like that, ordering it.
Yeah. Are you a makeup artist who decants stuff? So
Yes.
Yeah, are you? I
Yes.
love that.
Yeah.
But that's because you're an artist, and it's like an artist.
Yeah.
Oh,
so lipsticks get depotted into smaller palettes so that I'm not carrying loads of like lipstick bullets with me. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I love that. I really think it kind of just does appeal to that arty side, that I'm like, oh, I just want like a palette of all my colours squished in together, and I just think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, okay, so would you say for someone, let's give some tips for some girls who want to look nice at home.
Okay.
Lockdown. So is Charlotte Tilbury your go-to, or retreat at home while they're waiting for their bridal trial?
Yeah, Charlotte Tilbury's always a nice brand. I don't like her foundations that much. See, my favorite foundation's that one, and it's £5. It's from The Ordinary.
Yeah, I've heard The Ordinary are very good, actually.
Yeah, very, very good. I mean, for me, if I was like in lockdown and wanting, when I do sit here and I do reels on my Instagram, I think you need to start with really good skin. I think, while you're sitting in lockdown is to get your skin together. I think for brides, if you're looking to obviously plan for your big day, I think really work on your skin. So like products like hyaluronic acid to repair any sort of problems you might have. People who've got sort of dryness, then hyaluronic acid again is a good one. Using vitamin C reverses aging, so it boosts collagen. And start following the likes of Caroline Heron's and some of these skincare experts. There's a book that you can get by Caroline Heron's which is all about skincare, and it simplifies skincare. And I think if you were to get that your wedding and you want to look as best you can, I think starting a really good skincare routine, it would be amazing. I mean, if I panned you round to my skincare, I've got like shelves full of it. Because it's just,
and your skin is looking very, very good, I have to say, Catherine.
Thank you.
Your own Instagram handle, because you just talked about the reel, so let's drop it in here while we're chatting if anyone wants to be checking it out.
So it's Made Up by Kathryn. Kathryn spelled Cathryn, so Made Up by Kathryn. And then I've also got another page which is more about my skincare and looking after my skin, and that's Being 40 Fabulous. So I've got
you just dropped in the audio.
Oh, sorry, Being 40 plus and fabulous.
Oh yeah.
So I know I'm 40, but well, I'm not, I'm 43, but it's not just for anti-aging, it's just about looking after your skin and loving everybody.
And do you know what? So I'm 40 next year, so I'm 100% with you and hopping. I think I already follow you actually over there. I was like, oh yes, that one's for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a bit of a skincare lover too.
Yeah. My latest is snail mucin.
Oh my goodness, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, no, it's so good. It's so good.
Like the things we will try.
Yeah.
But yeah, I recently started using vitamin C from Medicate actually. And I texted my friends, I have a group of friends from school who are still best friends, texted them and I said, girls, this is a game changer, combining my retinol, my vitamin A at night with my vitamin C in the morning. I was like, it's like these products are beating my skin and saying, hey, like, sort yourself out and behave. It's been a game changer. So really, it's not just sort of chat, it really does work to find the products that work for you and use proper, properly sort of tested, recommended products from a professional like Catherine. And it's not just for the girls either. So, the guys can be prepping their skin in the run up to the wedding too. And the same sort of products work on men as
and
much
work on
as
women.
women.
Yeah. Yeah, retinol's like a game changer. It really is. You've got to get used to it, because it takes a bit of getting used to. But I think once you've got there, and vitamin C is, gosh, the wonders of that stuff. What it does.
Really and truly. So retinol I've been using for a while, and it was fine. I was having some results, and you know, some nights I'd give myself a night off, like you say. And when I combined and it was, both products were Medicate for me. When I combined the Medicate, quite strong retinol, with at night with the vitamin C in the morning, it just blew my socks off. Honestly, the difference was huge. And I'm someone who burns the candle at both ends, has my face constantly on a screen. Massive difference to me.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Skincare, I think, that's my one bit of advice for anybody who's planning on getting married. Get that skincare book by Caroline Herons, and start a skincare regime. And you know, the layering method of skincare, so double cleanse at night, cleanse in the morning, tone, glycolic, vitamin C, and then working the levels and the stages. You'll see, God, after about a week, you'll be like, whoa, what's going on here?
It's something fun to do in lockdown, you know. It's a treat for you. Get all your products out, and overnight it takes about 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's it. It's fun. Something to do.
Fun as well. Nice shower before bed, and then I put all my products on.
Yeah, so, it's lovely.
Bit of self-care. So I tell you what, we've done the skincare, we've had the bridal trial, we're proceeding to the wedding day. Talk us through kind of how a wedding day would work from your point of view.
Okay, so I would turn up. It would usually be at the crack of dawn. Usually, I would set up obviously my space. So I ask my brides to make sure there's a space for me, and for me to set up my kit. And then we would literally work so if it's a big wedding, I usually bring along an assistant. It's usually my sister, because she's qualified in makeup as well. So if it's like a big wedding, she does tend to come with me. So we would work it that we'd start with the bridesmaids, and we'd start their skin prep. So it would be like a conveyor belt. So one would get the skin prepped, the other would be in the chair with me, and then it would just go like that. And then we'd leave the bride till last. Let her chill. Sometimes I say to my brides, get one of those sort of sheet masks. Charlotte Tilbury does a really good one where it's a dry one, and you just sit with that on your face and just chill. Use that time to chill. And then when she's in the chair, that's the time when the bridesmaids go off getting their dresses, and she's got that time to really just unwind and have her makeup done just before she's about to be put into her dress. So that's how I tend to work it.
And how long does the bridal makeup itself usually take on average?
About 45 minutes to an hour.
That's a lovely time for the bride to just be able to relax and take stock and take a breath, isn't it? And sort of think, hey, it's happening now. And the nice thing about airbrush makeup is it's like a little air blowing on you. So if you are a little bit, it's quite relaxing to have, you know, me blowing air on your face and you're having your makeup done. It's a little treat. So that's why I always sort of like to leave it till last, so that they can all go into another room, go and get dressed, out of her way, and she's just me and her, and we just do the makeup and that, and then she gets into her dress. And I'm guessing that the photographer would usually be there as well on the morning of to And do you do like a little bit of a screen check or anything like that?
We'll do that, make sure that the makeup looks good on camera. They'll usually want their shots as well, where we might set it up, or a little bit more natural, but they happen as well. So it's all good. It's always really relaxed, really relaxing.
I think you're a really calming presence, Catherine.
I'm not normally.
You are. In your professional capacity, you are. I don't know if anyone else felt it, but when we started this chat, I go in all guns blazing because that's what I like, and then instantly you just kind of calm the mood.
I'm not normally like that. I'm quite a stressy person.
Well, you must save your stress for your personal
home life. Probably.
It's like in work, I'm super duper organized. in my home life, not so much. I let my
Yeah.
husband deal with all the admin, because I'm
Yeah.
just I save that for work. But yeah, instantly at the start of this interview, I just thought, well, this is nice.
I'm a chatterbox, yeah, and I can talk, you know, and I can
calmed me down and made me, okay, I just know that I'm going to have a lovely rest of the day now after chatting to you. In fact, I think I might have to ring you every day and
oh,
a little debrief. But no, you know, you really kind of just, So I think that must be why your brides recommend you so much, because yes, it's about the makeup look first and foremost. It's also about the experience and how they feel on the morning of their wedding.
Absolutely. And we always have a laugh. I mean, 99.9% of the time I'm working with Carol Ellis Thompson, who does hair, and she's one of my good friends. So like, I would say, like, because we're such good friends, we have a laugh, and then we have a laugh with them, and we usually make them put like old music on, like 80s and 90s music, and we're like, get this off. And then they sort of get into it and they're like, oh, this is fun.
yeah. I think that's lovely. It's just a bit of a girly time, isn't it?
Yeah.
It makes you like going to work as well, because you know, it's just all part of the fun. And if you don't love your job, then what's the point?
Yeah,
but we all can't wait to get back to it at the moment.
Yeah, I do. I love it. I just miss it so much, because I absolutely love it, and I don't think I'm ever going to complain again about a bad back or anything like that, because just the joy of being back doing it.
Totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I run, you know this, but in case anyone doesn't, I run wedding shows as part of my usual role. And I complain about wedding fairs all the time, as in like, oh, I've got to get up early, and oh, I've got to lift like 100 trestle tables and all, and like you say, bad back. And I'm never going to complain again. I just can't wait to get out there and see the couples and see the suppliers and, you know, make the magic that we're so used to making. We're all kind of stifled creatives at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you love most about the wedding industry and working in it?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think for me, it's just the prettiness of it all, really. Like the wedding morning, I think for me, like, we get there and she's in her pajamas, and so are the bridesmaids, and then we get there and we transform them, and then we get to see them in the dress. We get to see that real intimate part of the day, and we get to see the dress before anybody, and then when she comes out with the dress on and we see it, and we're like, we've done our job, and she looks amazing, and she's going off to marry the love of her life, and you know, and you wish her all the very best. Yeah, it does. It always makes me, I always get quite tearful when the dad
the worst
comes in. I always do. I'm just a crier. And
yes, every single, so whenever we get a real wedding for one of our platforms that has like a video fitted with it, I cry at every single wedding video I edit, and I watch the edit of and then upload, and it's ridiculous. So to do that for 10 years, but you know, every story is different, and every, you know, it's very human. You know, isn't it? It's a very human moment.
Lovely thing. So I suppose that's what I like about it. And then I suppose it does tap into that arty side of me. There are elements of like bridal styling I don't particularly like.
Like what?
Sometimes at the moment I'm not. There's certain looks, I keep seeing it, and I think we need to sort of, if we're doing style shoots, I think we need to buck the trend and be a bit different and be a bit daring.
So what don't you like? What are you ready to?
What don't I like?
101. Yeah.
I'm fed up with boho. I'm fed up with boho, and I suppose like I've seen so much pampas grass.
Yeah.
And I think that's just me. I think pampas grass is lovely. Don't get me wrong, but I just think if we're doing styled shoots as professionals and suppliers, I think we sort of need to start thinking outside of the box.
Absolutely agree with you. We put pampas grass on our last cover of Unveiled, but that was before
its time.
It was.
That was before its time.
But since then we've been locked down, and I didn't like the idea of printing a print magazine when I can't distribute it properly, so I put pause on that. And now I have to look at the cover of my 2020 magazine with pampas grass on it every single day. And I'm like, right, I'm ready to move on now. I'm ready.
That's what I mean. It's like when we did that shoot it was just a absolute good laugh. We did it sort of the end of summer. We did it at Tower Hill Barns up in Llangollen.
Yeah, the one we featured. Fantastic.
Thought I just wanted to do something crazy, and then Matthew O'Brien, who's my friend, was like, I'll make a neon yellow dress. And I'm like, really? Yeah. Okay.
So for anyone who didn't see this, who's watching along on YouTube, I will pop into the show notes the link to the shoot we featured for Katherine and her team. And there are some Matthew O'Brien knocked out of the park with those dresses, big sort of pinky red tulle number and a neon yellow, which is my favorite from the shoot. Absolutely my favorite.
When we saw it, he brought it into the room, and I mean, it glowed. And I'm going, oh my God, how are we going to do this? How are we going to make this work? And I think as soon as we put it on Gracie and we styled it up, I put the shoes on and I bought some earrings because I styled it. And it was like, it weirdly works. And I think
it was a bit of a Frida Kahlo if we're talking about art.
Yeah, it was.
That sort of look.
Yeah, it was.
So my most daring style shoot ever was for a back issue of Unveiled. Can't remember which issue 8 maybe. I think it was the first issue that I owned the magazine, so we bought the magazine out around about issue 8. Issue 7 actually. I think issue 7, so it must have been for issue 7. And we did a Bowie inspired shoot in a soft play center. And it was crazy, in fact.
But fun.
In fact, So crazy but fun. Crazy fun, but at the time, here we are. At the time I was thinking, this is never gonna work.
It works. It's editorial.
Yeah, it's cool. But it was risky, but I love that. I think that you should, look at this, I think you should definitely push the boundaries.
That's amazing.
With the styling. Yeah. But we were in there literally, like for that cover shot in the ball pit, climbing through the nets to get to a certain bit. It was great fun on the day, but I just think, I hope this works, because you're using everybody's time and commitment and products and but it did. As long as you kind of keep control and have a firm kind of end game in sight, I think you smash it.
Definitely. I'd like to do something with a bit of a pre-Raphaelite flavour. That's probably the next one, but I don't want to give away too much.
No, that sounds lovely. I like that way of thinking. A bit more natural, a little bit more undone. Some natural florals like mosses and twigs and things. I think. Yeah, we should collaborate. You can come and be the.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to.
So Kathryn, you talked about awards. Would you say those are your proudest moments, being recognised for your work?
The awards, not so much. Because I think, you enter those when you're probably first starting out, and they do help. I'm not going to lie, they do help with your marketing. I wouldn't knock them, but I think anyone can enter an award. You can pay to enter an award and send it. So they're not always a true reflection in my eyes of what you're doing. I think to be recognised by the media sort of magazines, I think for me, that is my proudest moment. Definitely when I get that top 50 and they put me in it again, and I was thinking, God, are they gonna do it again this year? I don't know. And then they do, and every year they say the loveliest things about my work. And I think the last one they said our standards just keep getting better and better. And I think for me that's lovely. The wedding ideas one, that was great. And then to be asked to be on that top 20 panel for Brides magazine, that was quite a few years ago now. So for me, I think they're probably I'm more proud of those than the actual awards, because I entered those and obviously paid to enter those awards. And I don't always see them as a true reflection.
Yeah, but it's still nice to win them, isn't it?
Oh, it's still nice to win them. But for me, I think
I would agree. I think, For a couple booking a makeup artist or any type of bridal supplier, yes,
yeah,
at the awards they've won, but don't stop there. You know, you have to kind of look at their work and check it through and meet them, have a trial.
Yeah.
It's just that they're just an extra add-on.
They're just an extra, and they rate, like I say, when 2015 was when I won it. So I mean, it's like 6 years ago coming up to now. And it was great at the time because it helped me to boost me to where I've got to. But would I enter awards again? Probably not, no.
Yeah. I used to judge an awards, so the big one, and be a judge in it. There were many judges, but I've stepped back from that this year because I love what they do and I love the confidence it gives couples, but I felt conflicted because I work so closely now with so many suppliers that there's no way I could judge anymore.
No.
And so I do think they've got their place, but I don't think they're the be all and end all.
No,
I did.
No, that...
judging them.
Hey, what's that? Sorry.
I did. I'd still be judging.
Yeah.
It's all about kind of balance. But for booking couples who are watching this, it's all about liking the style, liking the person, which hopefully you've met Catherine today and got to know her and what she's about a bit more. And that's the whole idea of Wedflics, is to let you meet before you even meet them. So
you know what I think I'm more proud of? This is when I get a review.
Oh yeah.
And they leave a review for me on my Google or on my Facebook. For me, I think that, you know, is bigger than anything really, just knowing that. And then when you get an inquiry and you'll say, I was recommended to you by, you did her wedding a couple of years ago, that's the recognition.
That just pop into your inbox. They really make your day, don't you?
Yeah.
You're not expecting to be like, oh, how lovely, you know.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
So Catherine, how do brides who want to book their wedding day makeup with you get in touch with you? What's the best way? Instagram. You can get in touch with me via Instagram. I'm quite hot on that, and I do sort of respond to that quite quickly. Email, Facebook. Fantastic.
Or you can text
your web address and we'll drop it in here.
Yeah, it's www.madeupbykatherine.co.uk. Everything's got the handle Made Up by Katherine. So I'd say Instagram's probably my place. I'm in there a lot.
Yeah, I've noticed. It's good. I like your reels.
What's my reels?
Check out Catherine's reels, everyone.
I've only got my face to work on.
But I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, we're all in it together, aren't we? This time. Yeah. We're all gonna get through it, and then we're gonna have the best parties on the other side. So
definitely.
Whether they're small, they're going to be amazing days. So look. Yeah. And I can't wait to see all the results and all your brides coming out with all their glowing faces of Airbrush. It's going to be lovely. Catherine, thank you so much for being my guest.
You're welcome.
On Wedflics. It's been such a pleasure, and you've really chilled me out. So I'm just going to have a really nice chilled day now.
Oh, thank you.